In the house for a very long time. Never lost seats, like a better like wine. Slow searching, found me online. No, in a mountain beach.
All right, so we just got back from our viewing of Joker 2, which I am not going to pronounce the title.
Get Kevin on the line.
Dad? Folie, Folie Deux?
That was good.
Thank you. The French.
Yeah.
What did you just say that it was translated to? Something
Shared
about like
Madness.
Shared Madness. Is that how you felt watching the movie?
Well,
Oh wait. Also, we should preface beforehand. We just got back from watching the movie. Hadn't seen the movie at all. You never saw a trailer for it either, did you?
no. I saw
Not
a
really?
poster. I saw a poster.
Saw a poster for it. I never saw the trailer for it. Just decided to go pretty last minute.
Very raw thoughts here.
Very raw thoughts because we did not discuss anything after the movie. Like, we just got back home. And these are our first official thoughts.
Yeah, like the movie ended at like 4:20. It's
4:45.
Oh, God. Yep.
So,
So the car ride was great on the way back home. So I don't know. Okay, let's start with the rating. What would you just rate it right away?
Type a number into it because I don't want to influence you at all. I'm gonna type my number.
number in as well.
Out of what?
Out of 10.
Out of 10.
Class.
I don't know why
I'm
Google.
curious
I have
as to what
Google
you would-
open. I typed in 5.
I'm curious. Oh, dude, don't tell me your answer.
Oh no! God.
That's fine.
So you said 5. Okay, I was gonna say 6.
I was gonna say
I
6.
can't believe I already ruined the little funny thing.
I was gonna say 6.
Okay, you were gonna say 6.
And I was gonna ask to maybe discuss this before because it's a sequel. So obviously
Yes.
the first movie has a lot to do with the second movie.
Yeah,
I guess right off the bat, did you prefer?
Which one did you prefer more? The first?
I preferred the first one.
Yeah, same. But I feel like that's how it is often.
Yeah, it's hard to make a good sequel follow-up. My biggest gripe, I think, with the whole thing. Also, my reasoning for a 5, I thought it was just a movie. You know, to put it like plainly, it was just a movie. At least in the first Joker 1, I don't know what to call
The
these.
Joker 1, Joker 2.
Yeah. We're not going to call it the French. In Joker 1, it felt like a narrative was taking place. As in, it was his descent. You really got to see his character kind of like flesh out to become Joker.
You got backstory. Yeah.
You got the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then Joker 2, there's kind of nothing. It's not nothing, but it's just like prison. Then it's the trial. Then it's prison. Then it's back in the courtroom for the trial. And then the courtroom blows up.
Yeah.
And then he's back in prison. And then it's just like, there's not much that really kind of overall goes on. I guess from what I gathered from it.
Yeah, especially when you compare it to the
First movie when so much narrative happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, this felt more like it was trying to be artful.
You know?
I completely agree.
It takes me to my
Like the biggest point of this movie, it was a musical.
It was a musical.
You know?
Yes. Anosha texted me. Did I tell you that?
No.
She texted me as we sat down and was like, just saw on TikTok, it's a musical. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, we were watching that.
And like every scene, like every transition, there was something.
Every single one.
And we gotta start dancing and
Yes.
Well, okay. And I wanted to say this earlier too. The big theme,
spoilers, of course.
the first movie was heavily based on, or like the theme of the movie was
Delusion.
Yes.
And, this is all
imaginary, it's all fantasy. And like you're not very quickly, actually, it takes the whole movie for you to realize.
what's the narrator? Unreliable narrator.
Yes,
Very
for
unreliable.
sure.
And so I was going into this movie.
Remembering that from the first one, that not a reliable narrator
Yep.
is very fantastical and everything's probably not real.
Yep.
And so they
Really lead into it in this movie.
They did. I mean, like, more so than I thought they would. There were times, truly, like, over half the movie, I thought to myself, is this actually happening?
Exactly.
Once again, I didn't really like it that much. I enjoyed it in the first one. I do enjoy an unreliable narrator because it's like, what is happening? Or like, where is it going to throw me off? What's going to be the surprising kind of twist to happen.
Well, and I feel like the first movie is very subtle.
It is.
With its,
It's a whole lot more subtle.
Unreliable narration.
This movie was very like, oh, we're in a dream right now.
Yes, constantly. And it was with all the musical parts to it, you know? And when I first got the text that it was a musical, I was like, there's going to be like 2 songs, 3 songs.
Oh, it was every scene.
It was every single scene. And I don't have a problem with musicals. I thought it was overstuffed.
It was more than a musical.
It was more than musicals usually have like 7, 8 songs.
Like,
This one had I don't know how many.
High School Musical had more dialogue.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. It was everything.
Yeah.
And it started out kind of subtle-ish when like Arthur was in front of the TV in the very beginning, starts singing to himself if someone asks like, "Oh, are you afraid of the death penalty?" And then he, like, I could tell that's probably not happening. He's probably not singing to everybody and they're not really reacting. And then it cut to him standing there like he was.
Yeah.
I liked that.
That was good. I was like,
I liked that.
typical unreliable narrator.
For sure.
Yeah.
And that felt artful.
Yeah.
But then it truly was every single scene. And it got to the point where I was like, again?
Mm-hmm.
Again? Like, it just kept going and it felt forced.
Well, it felt like this movie, they're like, all right, so we can't. So the first movie was all about Arthur,
And it was the Joker movie. In
For
this
sure.
Movie, we got to bring in someone else. Who
Yep.
we gonna bring in?
we get Harley Quinn, so we could bring in Lady Gaga. Oh, let's.
Yep.
Lady Gaga. Great. What does Lady Gaga do? She sings.
She
This is
sings!
the singing movie. And like,
Do you think, what came first? Chicken or the egg situation.
Yeah.
Did Lady Gaga come first for this movie? Or did the script?
I'm sure there's an answer out there.
I'm sure there
Like,
is.
we didn't research this.
We
at all.
didn't research this.
And I'm sure it already exists, but my gut feeling after watching that movie was they wrote that movie for Lady Gaga.
I agree.
You know? And I think Joaquin Phoenix should have wanted to sing.
I feel like you did too. He was hamming it up on those scenes.
Yeah, and you know, like he wasn't like the worst singer.
No,
But,
no.
like, it's Joker, you know, so it's like not supposed to be great either.
No.
But she was almost like too good at singing to like.
There was, like, I think the last 2 songs that she took part in, she let out her raspy, like, almost sounds like her, like, current pop star. I know it's her singing voice, so you can't really change it too much. I'm like, oh, I could go on Spotify and, like, I would hear this kind of thing. Like, they really let her sing. Great singer. But, like, once again, I think they brought someone to write the script around her being in the movie.
Yeah, and like.
Like, you can do that well.
Mm-hmm.
And this just felt like they went too far,
Yeah, definitely.
in my opinion.
Yeah. A little too much. And in certain spots. Once again, the part where he's learning about the death penalty, I liked that singing segment. But then it's just too much.
Yeah, like the.
The scene, like the ones that I'm thinking of are like the really fantastical scenes where
It was like the Harley and Joker show
Mm-hmm.
where they were like up on stage in front of the TV. And like the first movie did that
as well.
Yeah.
Like the fantasies
about being on TV and everything. And like this one,
But like they made it so musical.
They did.
what did you like about this movie? And what did you not like about this movie?
Quickly to talk about more like artful things, just to kind of transition from the music to this, I really enjoyed certain art aspects of it, like the subtle stuff, kind of like what the first movie did, like what you were talking about. In the very beginning, when they were taking Arthur out in the rain and they had their umbrellas out to go see the lawyer, like they were black initially, and then it cut to him like feeling the rain and kind of like that, and then the umbrellas were like colored and colorful. I like stuff like that, where it's like subtle, but it kind of shows you he's someone else, like his mind. You're like more so, instead of like an out of body watching Arthur and everyone else, you are in his head.
Yeah.
And like he sees not the black umbrellas, but the colorful umbrellas for whatever reason it might have been, whether he's just outside and like feels the rain and feels good, or like who knows.
Yeah.
But I appreciate little things like that. And I liked that aspect of the movie. Overall, I enjoyed the trial aspect too. I liked deep diving into his brain and his whole psychosis. Because you got the Looney Tunes style opening cartoon.
That was great.
That was great.
I really liked
And so did I. And I really enjoyed how it kind of showed and foreshadowed the split personality situation. Like Joker in his shadow, and the shadow kind of took, or Arthur. Was it Arthur in the shadow or Joker in the shadow?
I think it was Joker in the shadow.
I think it was too.
Because he like walked into the scene wearing like the makeup.
He did. Yes. But it's almost like the shadow kind of, I mean, it very much was. The shadow was like the evil version of him. And it trapped him inside, locked him away, and then it framed him for doing the bad deed kind of thing. So I liked that, and I liked how it foreshadowed the split personality situation that we'd see in the rest of the movie. I didn't enjoy how long the trial was, I guess. I'd be okay with a long trial if we got to see more. That was 2 hours and 18 minutes of insane asylum and courtroom, you know? Not saying I need like a bombastic...
You don't need a big action scene.
I don't, but I kind of wanted a little more. And I don't need more about like musical stuff. Like I want like legit gears turning the scenes and everything.
I think they could have done a flashback or something. So, just to like tie it up, what did you like? Like, what was your takeaway positive thing?
I really enjoyed... Oh man, I'm freezing up over here. Man, I don't know if I want to talk all technical, because technically I like it. I like it the way it was shot. The music itself was good, and I like the subtle artistic parts about it. Well, and acting. Acting across the board was great.
Oh yeah.
Phoenix was great. Lady Gaga was great. Everyone involved was really good. That's kind of it. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. What did you like about it?
Kind of similar.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about this movie was also my favorite thing about the first movie, and that like the vibe of Gotham is
For sure.
really good in these movies.
Yes.
Like the 80s New York City.
Mm-hmm.
And like the every scene, like so many cigarettes were consumed in this movie.
Oh,
You know?
dude, I wanted to come home and smoke a cig, dude. Oh my god.
So good.
It looks so cool.
But like,
Woo!
but like every scene had like smoke in the air and like really colorful lighting,
Very.
and it was like very vibey.
Atmospheric, it was great.
It was awesome.
Great.
Yeah, they did it like a really grimy, rainy Gotham. Really
Very.
well.
Yeah.
And that was my favorite thing about that. And they did that really well in the first movie.
For sure. Oh yeah, definitely. Completely unrelated movie, but like the Batman has nailed it too. Just dreary. You know, like I don't want to live there kind of thing. And they do that so well in these two Joker movies.
Something. Okay, this is a quick side note as well. I remember watching the first movie. Again, completely unresearched opinion, but someone famous did the music for that movie. Was it Hans Zimmer?
I'll look it up real quick.
Okay, well you looked it up. I remember the music in the first movie and thinking like, wow, this movie, like the music hits really good.
Oh yeah.
And I did not leave this movie thinking the same thing.
I totally agree. Cause like what I said, I liked the music. The only thing that like in the moment what I was talking about was the musical, like numbers itself. While I enjoyed how they sounded, it was a lot going on. Like outside the movie, great. But I agree, there wasn't really like a score, like a composed...
Well, I remember there was like a Joker score. And
Yes.
It was very subtle. They put it in this movie.
I heard it.
Yeah.
I heard it.
It's like a lot of string instruments.
Yes.
Or something. Yeah, and like that stirred the memory in my mind. I was like, oh yeah, the first movie.
Yep.
They did that a lot.
Mhm.
The score was beautiful in that movie. And this movie, it was more vocal based.
For sure.
It was more Joaquin and Lady Gaga singing,
Yeah.
You know? So...
I prefer the score in the first one.
I did too.
Definitely.
It hit really well. Did you see who...
I did. I looked it up.
This is something we've never heard of.
I had never heard of this person.
Yeah.
I cannot pronounce her last name. I'm never going to pronounce
But it
that.
was so good.
So good.
Like-
So good, so memorable.
She
And
did
she
such a
did,
good
I think
job
she
with
did
that.
both movies.
Really?
She did both. No, I totally agree with you. I did like the subtle Joker theme at the end. It was a nice, like, kind of touch
Yeah.
in there.
I could have done with more of that.
I could have done with more as well. I had a thought earlier in the car and didn't want to share it yet. Talking about like cameos and fan service items right there. I am not a person who needs too much fan service. Fan service is fun. I think it's great when it's handled correctly.
Yeah.
Issue I kind of had with this story, and especially with the first Joker movie too, it almost doesn't need to be about the Joker. It almost holds nothing, and I don't know Joker from like the comics too well. I only mostly know him from like the current DC movies and stuff like that. There's no like similarity at all. there's little Bruce Wayne, young Bruce Wayne in the first movie, but there's no Batman aspect of it. There's barely any shared characters from the comics in there, which I'll get to in a second. But I don't know if I'm explaining that right. It's not like you could replace. He could just be Arthur. You could change the movie name to Arthur, and not Joker, and it would. I don't know. It wouldn't change much. It doesn't. It almost feels like a weird cash grab thing to call it Joker when it really doesn't have much to do with the source material itself. Not saying it doesn't have to change it. I'm all for new stories, and it doesn't have to all connect at all. I don't want it to connect to like the DC movies like in that way.
Yeah.
It's just like you feel like they could have leaned a little bit more into like a little bit more Joker rather than just like an insane guy trying to figure all that out he just happens to kind of wear clown makeup who wants to tell jokes. I guess where I was going with that the whole time.
Yeah.
I liked how this movie started connecting stuff to Gotham. Like we discussed briefly, Harvey Dent is, who was he, the assistant DA? Accusing Arthur, or Joker, of, all the murders, trying to get him on the death penalty. I really liked that Harvey Dent was in the movie, and I really liked how they very blurry in the background showed his Two-Face after the bomb went off. I like stuff like that. It doesn't have to be super on the nose, but I really appreciate connecting a few things, especially in this kind of movie and environment where it's not too connected, if that makes sense.
You and I both mentioned it had been a while since we had seen the first Joker. Like, we saw it when it came out.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't an enjoyable... It was a good movie. It was not an enjoyable watch.
Yes.
Fun time. It's not something you turn on to, like, sit down and relax to. But I remember at the end of the movie, there, like, the hint towards the next movie. He was in Arkham Asylum. Who was he in there with?
He was in there.
The cell next to him was someone. Who was it?
You might be thinking of Batman.
You're right.
Yeah, you're thinking of the good Batman movie.
Okay, you're right.
Well, I know what you mean, though. Riddler was sharing a cell with Joker.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And I like that.
Yeah.
At the end of the first Joker, he is presumed he killed the woman in... Yes, yeah. And then he started running around like crazy.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. I was mixing up with the joke. Oh, I was thinking of that.
Oh, yeah. No, you're good. You're good. I want to see Batman too.
So like that was the way the Batman tied it in universe really well.
Yeah.
And this movie, besides the Harvey Dent, there's Harley Quinn as well.
Harley Quinn, which we haven't really talked about, but yeah.
How did you like, singing aside, how did you like Lady Gaga's portrayal of Harley Quinn?
Like I said, I don't know much about like comic wise.
Yeah.
Like Harley Quinn or Joker. But from what I do know, I know like this Joker, like I stand by what I said. He could just be like some rando dude with like clown paint who just likes to tell some jokes. Yeah. So I don't really like that story part to the Joker. Not against Joaquin Phoenix. That's just like the story itself. I feel the same way about Harley Quinn though. I don't think she was totally necessary to the story. I kind of thought she was there for singing. In a way, like brought her in, like, oh, she could be Harley Quinn, she could sing, that kind of thing. Yeah. But that aside, still, I really enjoyed her performance. I did like her a lot. I liked how her wardrobe and costumes slowly shifted to more like traditional. I thought that was cool. Yeah, that was I enjoyed it. It was just like normal clothes, and then at the very end, it was like the red outfit and like the face paint. I thought that was cool.
I noticed, like, the first scene where she showed up at the courthouse. Did you notice she had on those, like, tights that had, like, that checkered pattern?
The little checkered pattern? Yes. I thought the checkered pattern was nice.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, yeah. I didn't know that I associated those two things.
Yes.
But I saw that, I was like, that's what that's from.
That's good. I like nods like that, And I appreciated that it slowly built.
Yeah.
I think I would have liked it a lot less if she just showed up from wearing like jeans and like normal wear to just the full-on get-up. I wouldn't have liked that much. I appreciated that they did like slowly.
Another thing just to like sprinkle a bit of doubt throughout the entire movie is like the movie is called it's like a shared delusion.
Yes. Yeah.
So what it made me think like at the end when she was wearing the Harley Quinn outfit, it's like very fantastical and out there. was she actually wearing that, or was that just Joker's imagination?
Oh, that's a good point.
You know, like, because it was like such a bright thing and so flamboyant.
It was.
And, like, stood out from what everyone else was wearing.
Yeah.
They're like, she might not even be wearing that.
Yeah.
She could be imagining she's wearing that, or he could be imagining she's wearing that.
How much did he imagine from her? Oh, was she in the hole with him?
Oh.
When he got thrown into like the dark hole room.
Yeah.
Was she there? I thought no.
Because like his first question was like, "Are you real? Are
Yeah.
you really here?" And like he would just finish like what was clearly like a fantasy.
Yes.
He was singing.
He was singing. He was doing the whole shebang.
Yeah. Was she actually there?
How
yeah,
did she
was
get
like,
there?
The guards let me in. Was
Yeah.
the explanation.
But like, would they? To some insane dude in the hole?
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't think they would.
Yeah, I don't think she was.
So when she said that she was pregnant,
Spoiler alert.
spoiler alert. Was she actually? She said those words, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like him.
No, she said that.
It's like, was he imagining her saying that? But she said it twice.
Yeah.
Wait,
And then
he said it. She said it once.
First, and then he said it
You're right.
at the end.
You're right.
But she didn't acknowledge it.
She didn't. She just started singing.
Yeah.
She just started singing because we got Lady Gaga on set.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it was an annoying amount of, is it real, is it not? Not like where I would enjoy that. Because I normally do enjoy that stuff.
Yeah.
It was a little, not frustrating at times, but like, almost like a, just tell me situation. Like, is it real?
I agree, actually.
So wait, do you think she was in like the cell with him or no?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Because I don't think it makes sense that she would be there.
Mm-mm. You know what also doesn't make sense? Her checking herself in
Yeah.
to Arkham Asylum.
that?
I don't think you can. I don't think you can just check yourself into an insane asylum and check out when you're ready to go home.
Yeah. And
Maybe
like,
I'm
all
wrong.
the criminally insane people of Gotham, like, you just, let me go hang out with
I'm
us.
gonna go hang out with those people
Yeah.
and wear their clothing. Like, but she said she wanted to get close to him. Or,
Yeah.
once again, I don't know who said that.
That was another aspect of the, like, show, or the movie that, like, I didn't really like all that much, was that in the show, in the movie, Joker has a big following. Everyone talks about it, but, like, it could just be Joker's imagination, thinking everyone is his fan. And then Harley Quinn is, I don't know if this is fantasy or in real life, she is, like, his biggest fan.
Yeah.
And like she checks herself in and intentionally just to get to know him, you know, because she loves his movies.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't really like that explanation.
I don't like it either.
I was like, that's.
I would have preferred, like, she actually is insane,
Yeah.
which I think she kind of is crazy, because, once again, the title of the movie, but also, like, she was set on this fantasy with him, and then when he broke that fantasy, she got pissed and was like, I don't want to do this anymore then. It's no fun.
Yeah.
I would have very much preferred if she, like, truly, like, we know that she was crazy, in a way.
Like, she was actually criminally insane and didn't say that she was criminally insane.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And she was just there.
Yeah. Can we talk about the last scene?
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, to wrap things up, let's discuss the final scene. Oh, there's another, like, small cameo potential I want to ask you about with that final scene too. But what are your thoughts on the final scene?
So, to like summarize, and like I'm gonna say this just to like kind of figure out my thoughts on it. He's back in, you know, after all, he escapes, he gets caught, he's back in the ward where, oh my god, he's back in the same place they spent the whole
Exactly, yeah.
He has a visitor to see him. I want to ask you, who do you think that was? You know, who was that visitor who came to see there? Anyways, he gets escorted by someone who's definitely about to get fired. Like,
Oh, for sure, for sure.
like the worst security guard ever.
Yes.
He's like, hey, come on.
Come on.
Leaves.
Yeah.
Like, all right, you're good. But like, I'm sure that happens in
Yeah.
Arkham Lost, but whatever. And as Joker is left behind, or Arthur is left behind, he gets approached by another.
Who we don't even know who he is.
Yeah, this is our first time being introduced to him.
I thought it'd be like Ricky guy. Was it his name, Ricky?
Yeah, but didn't they allude to Ricky?
Oh, he died.
Yeah.
Never mind, it can't be Ricky.
I
Ricky
thought
died.
Ricky died.
Ricky died, yes. R.I.P. Rick.
And so this person
Who, like, we don't know, just, like, is assume another insane person there, asked to tell Joker a joke, and it's the same joke they finished
the first movie with,
Yep.
essentially,
and this person stabs,
Arthur a couple times.
Yep.
and
It appears Arthur dies.
Yes.
You know?
I
I think he did die.
think he did die.
Yeah. And then
the, like, not, like, that was obviously not the most shocking part to me. It was that, like, some random
person killed.
in the background, you could see the person who just stabbed Arthur.
Cut his cheeks
Right.
the way Joker did.
Yes. So at first I thought, I'm so glad you saw it too. I'm like, am I crazy?
Yeah.
Am I one of them?
Yeah.
I was going to ask you too because I don't know. My first thought was he was slicing his cheeks.
That was my thought.
Was he just
That's my
like
thought.
taking the side of the blade with the blood and just like, it was to his mouth for sure.
No, I think he was slicing.
I think he was too. That was my initial thought. But then I thought about it, like, well, what if he just like
Did the blood?
did like rub the blood on
But,
his
like,
face?
Isn't the thing about like the Heath Ledger Joker?
Heath Ledger
is crazy.
Joker, yeah.
I think like, do you want to know how I got these scars?
For sure.
You know. And
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea that, like, future Joker is not actually the one we've been watching these past two movies about. The future
Joker is the
Yes.
one that was inspired.
Yes.
by this guy, and that was kind of like the theme of this Joker was like, oh, he is like a figurehead for
Absolutely.
Crazy people.
Yeah.
Like just say, oh, we hate the police. You know?
Yeah.
We hate control.
I remember after the first movie came out, a lot of people were wondering, like, this guy doesn't seem like the real Joker. He doesn't act like him,
Yeah.
like as chaotic. So it's like, what if, like what you exactly just said, what if he's like inspiring the for real one? Which didn't happen like the second one, obviously, because we saw him the whole time. Arthur was there on trial. That was the whole movie. Until the very end. What if that is the next, like, Joker? Whether we get a sequel or not, and, like, connected to some way to this movie. What if that is? What's the time jump? Do we know the time jump between first and second movie? I don't think they ever said.
No, it's not long.
I don't think it was long.
Because like they're like, oh yeah, do you remember that night? And like I'd say like less than a year.
I think so
A year
too.
or so.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Because that would put young Bruce Wayne and that Joker. Because that guy that stabbed him was a lot younger than Arthur was. He was probably 20s.
A lot closer.
So that age gap would make a lot more sense for a Batman versus Joker situation. I loved that little background thing. I think that had to have been like on purpose, like on the nose.
oh yeah, you were supposed to catch that.
Yes. But I like how it was like slightly out of focus. Like you couldn't see it fully. Kind of like Harvey Dent. You saw it quickly, but then it was it.
Yeah.
It didn't have to be like,
Because
that's the Joker. That's him over there. It's like, did you see that? Like, did you catch that kind of
That
thing?
was definitely fan service.
For sure.
If you did not know who Joker was,
Yes.
and you saw
That
that
movie, and that was your first time hearing about Joker, you would not catch
You
it.
would have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. I loved that.
It was a good way to end it too.
It was a good way to end it.
Like, oh, Arthur's dead. Wow.
Yeah. Do you think... Two questions. Do you think we'll get a sequel? Do you want a sequel?
Will there be a sequel, and should there be a sequel?
Mm-hmm.
Will there?
I think the answer is no for both of them.
Okay.
I think
Unfortunately, I think this movie is not going to do
as well commercially.
Yeah.
Especially the first one. 'cause
The first one got a lot of buzz because it was like, oh, it's a
It was rated R. Yeah.
It was rated R, yeah.
Yeah.
oh, it's a rated R superhero movie that's about a villain that's
Yep.
really popular, and it's Joaquin Phoenix, and he did such a great job and everything. I don't think this movie was as good as the first one, and I don't think it generated as much controversy
Yeah.
or media buzz
Yeah.
as the first one. So I don't think it's going to do very well commercially. Unfortunately, I want every movie to
Oh,
do
yeah.
well
Yeah.
commercially.
But yeah, I don't think this one is going to do as well, and so I don't think it needs a sequel. But I do think that other movies could be built in the same universe.
Like the Batman movies could tie in.
That'd be cool.
Like, how awesome would it be? The next Batman movie has
Robert Pattinson and whoever this Joker was.
Yeah.
You know, that would be cool.
I think that'd be cool. And like it doesn't have to be completely related. It doesn't have to, like the next Batman movie, for example, wouldn't have to completely base everything off of this second Joker movie or the Joker in general, but just like have the tie-in. Like what if that Joker was the one that stabbed Arthur at the end? I think that'd be a cool connection and tie-in there, you know? Especially because it's set in the 80s.
Yeah, because like selfishly, I loved this Gotham.
Loved it.
It was so atmospheric.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
So like that's why I
Like, I don't think there needs to be another Joker movie, but I would be happy
seeing another movie set in this universe. You know.
I would too. Yeah, I don't want a sequel. I don't need a Joker 3 or whatever the title would be in another language.
A Harley Quinn movie.
Harley Quinn. I just didn't like her very much. I didn't like any of these characters very much, honestly.
My favorite
character was his attorney.
Yes.
So nice.
She's so nice. She's trying to save your life.
Please. Just
And he
listen.
fucking fired her.
Yeah.
Middle of the trial.
Yeah. I was like, no.
Oh my god.
Could also be like, you know, like they did like the Penguin show. That's
Yeah.
coming out?
Yeah.
Yeah, Harvey Dent. A spin-off.
That would be cool.
Like he's
Like, it's a TV show on Harvey Dent, and it's more
more
like
like a law, like
That'd be cool.
courtroom
drama show.
Yeah.
With, like some aspects of Gotham, but like,
And they sing.
yeah. In that atmosphere, I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked that Harvey Dent.
Like all the commissioners on our Suno.
Something like that. Yeah. More like courtside basketball. In the trial and the court hearings.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
Harvey Dent's
law. Yeah. What's it on? It's on Disney Plus, I think. The Penguin.
So a Disney
Plus
Plus
Harvey Dent courtroom
Yes.
drama.
Yeah.
best universe in the 80s.
That'd be sick. That would be cool. Okay, really quick to wrap things up. Final thoughts on the movie. After we've discussed it now, would you change your rating? From, what would you have, 6?
6 out of 10.
You said 5 out of 10, and like when you first said that, I was like, oh, it's pretty low. But like after saying it, I would not see this movie again.
I wouldn't either.
I don't think I would
Recommend it to someone else.
I wouldn't either. We took a questionnaire survey after the movie.
Yes to this. They were like all these people that still have iPads, and they were like, "Would you want to do a survey?" And I was like, "No, no thanks." And Mitch was like, "Yeah, sure, we'll do it."
I thought you said, "Oh
I was
no,"
like, he took the iPad, and I was like, "Oh god!" And so like they asked everyone else who was like walking after,
and they all
"Yeah,
said
we're
no.
good."
I was
And
like,
there were about 2 schmucks there. On the
I
iPad.
thought it was gonna be 2 or 3 questions.
It was 30 questions.
And when we hit the first answer, I saw the bar fill up, and I'm like, wait, that barely moved. And then I hit the second answer, and then it barely moved again. I was like, holy cow, this is going to take forever. And it did. It took forever. I would not recommend to friends and family. Yeah. I'm letting the studio know.
Yeah.
They need to make better movies.
Fair. Yeah, all negative answers. Do better.
Do better, please.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. Wait, we have our little studio manager here right now. What did you say the Rotten Tomato score was?
According to my source on TikTok, 33%.
TikTok says 33% on Rotten Tomatoes. I
Wow.
would not rate it that low.
Yeah.
It wasn't that bad. 33 is low.
I mean, the Rotten Tomatoes, they're always harsh though.
They always are harsh.
like-
I don't trust it.
Yeah, you gotta add like
10 to 20 points to that, to like what everyone else thinks about movies, you know? But then like that puts you at 43 to 53%, which is fair.
Yeah, I think if you added like 20, like you said, a nice like 53. I mean, I said 5 out of 10. Like it's right there in the ballpark for me. And I agree. I think it's a one and done. I would rather watch the first one, and I don't want to watch the first one ever again. Not because it's bad.
No.
It's really good.
Good movie, just hard to watch.
It is. It is sad.
It's sad.
It's not a happy movie.
No.
And neither is this one.
It-
In a worse way. In a worse way.
That's our thoughts on this movie.
Oh man. Wouldn't watch it again.
Definitely sad and worse than the first.
Sad and worse. That's gonna be the title. Sad and worse. Anyways, do you have any closing statements like Arthur and the trial?
I think it's such a good, like, that's my closing thoughts, is like, it's such a good universe, they can't let it go to waste with like a musical movie like this.
I agree.
I think they gotta do something else, bring us a TV show.
Yeah.
Series or something.
It was too far of a reach, I think,
Yeah.
with the musical part to it. I think given it just be a normal movie, it would have been, I think it would have been better.
Yeah. I agree.
Give it like 1 or 2 singing segments. That's cool. But,
More of a plot.
and more of a plot. There wasn't a plot. There was, but not really. Like,
Yeah.
Agreed.
yeah. Very much appreciate y'all tuning in and listening today. Leave a like down below if you enjoyed what you heard. And if you have seen Joker 2 already or are interested in watching it all, please let us know your thoughts down below. We would love to hear it, whether you love it or hate it. And hey, give us a rating from 1 to 10. As always, very much appreciate y'all watching, and I will see y'all in the next video.